back to Storybook Crochet. Today we're going to be making this newborn cat hat. So we'll add bows to it, but of course if you don't want bows, don't add that part. But I'll show you how to make the braids and the hat and the little ears. To get started, you're going to need some 3 different colors of yarn. So whatever colors you choose, I chose orange, pink, and a cream color. You're going to need an eye hook, which is 5.5 millimeter, a yarn needle, and some scissors to get started. So grab what you need and we will get going. Okay, now that we have our materials, we can go ahead and get started. So we're going to start with a magic ring. And in that magic ring, we're going to make 8 half double crochet. And we'll be using the half double crochet throughout this pattern. So 8 half double crochets. If you're not familiar with the half double crochet, you're going to yarn over, you're going to insert your hook, pull up your loop, so you'll have 3 on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. So yarn over, insert your hook, you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. So that's a half double crochet. Alright, once you have your 8 made, go ahead and pull that tail. And at the end of each round, we are going to make a slip stitch to the first stitch of that round. And then we are going to chain 1. So we'll do that at the end of each round of this hat. Okay, so that's round 1. So for round 2, we're going to increase a round. So we'll put 2 half double crochets in every stitch around, which will give us 16 half double crochets at the end. So put 2 half double crochets in every stitch you made from round 1. Okay, so at the end of that round, make your slip stitch to the first half double crochet you made in the round, and then chain 1. So that is round 2. So we have 16 half double crochets made now. For round 3, we will continue our increasing. So for this one, we're going to increase in the first stitch. So you'll put 2 half double crochets in that very first stitch. And then we're just going to put 1 half double crochet in the next. So the pattern around will be increase 1, increase 1, increase 1. So increase in the next one, and then 1 half double crochet in the next. Increase, and then 1. So continue that pattern around and I will meet you back at the end of round 3 where you will have a total of 24 half double crochets made. Okay, we are now at the end of round 3, so we're going to make our slip stitch and our chain 1. So again, you should have 24 stitches made after round 3. So for round 4, we're going to increase in the first stitch. So make your 2 half double crochets, and this time we're going to make, in the next 2 stitches, we'll put 1 half double crochet. So 1 and 1. So we increase and then half double crochet, half double crochet. So increase, and then half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Increase, half double crochet in the next 2. Okay, so again, I'm going to have you work your way around to the end of round 4 where you will have 32 half double crochets made, and I will meet you back at the end of this round. Okay, so we have made it to the end of round 4, so we'll make our slip stitch and we'll chain 1. So we're going to do basically the same pattern for round 5. So we're going to increase in the first stitch, and then we're going to half double crochet over the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so again, increase in the next, and then half double crochet over the next 3. And this is our last increase round. So at the end of round 5, you will have a total of 40 half double crochets. So I will meet you at the end of this round, and then we will start to build up the sides of our hat like this. Alright, so we are at the end of round 4, so round 5, so we're going to make our slip stitch and our chain 1. So as I said before, that was our last increase round, so now we're just going to do 1 half double crochet in every stitch around. And you will do this for a total of 7 rounds. So this will be rounds 6 through 11. So you're building up the sides of the hat now. So go ahead and do 1 half double crochet in every stitch around for a total of 7 rounds until you get to the end of round 11, and then we will meet back. And the next thing that we'll do is make the ear flaps here, like that. Okay, so again, rounds 6 through 11, that's a total of 7 rounds of 1 half double crochet in each stitch around, and I will meet you back at the end of round 11. Okay, so we should be at the end of round 11 now, so we're going to go ahead and make our slip stitch and our chain 1. So next we're going to make our first ear flap. So what you're going to do is you're going to make 8 half double crochets across. So just 1 in each of the next 8 stitches here. Okay, so this is the base or the first row of our ear flap. So again, you need 8 half double crochets across. When you get to the end of those 8, you're going to chain 1, and then we're going to turn our piece over and kind of fold that front part of that hat out of the way so it's not bothering you as you work in round 2. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a half double crochet decrease over the first 2. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is yarn over, you're going to insert your hook and pull up a loop. So you have 3 on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through the first 2. So now you have 2. Then you're going to yarn over again, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up your loop. You have 4 loops on your hook now. So then you're going to yarn over and pull through all 4 of those loops. So you've just made a decrease. Okay, so decrease over the first 2. Then we're just going to put 1 half double crochet in each of the next 4. Alright, so there's 4. And then we're going to decrease again over the last 2. So I'll show you one more time. So yarn over and insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So you have 2 left on your hook. Yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. You have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 4. Okay, so for this round we have 6 half double crochets made. So go ahead and chain 1 and then we'll turn it again. So for row 3, we're going to decrease over the first 2. you're going to half double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then you're going to decrease over the second or the last 2. Okay, so for around row 3 we now have 4 stitches made. So now you can see that the sides are starting to taper in. Alright, so for row 4 we're going to just decrease twice. So put a decrease over the first 2 stitches, and then decrease over the last 2 stitches. Okay, and that is all we're going to do for that ear flap, so go ahead and pull your yarn out and we'll go ahead and cut that. And go ahead and tie that off so we have our first ear flap made. So fold your hat to where your ear flap is in the middle, so you're even on both sides. Turn it over, and this will help us figure out where to put the second ear flap. So you'll just match up the stitch across from it. Okay? Now we're going to repeat the same thing. So let's attach our yarn. So grab it with your hook and pull it through, and then chain 1. Okay, so make your, tighten that if you need to. So make your 8 half double crochets across for row 1. Okay, and make sure you chain 1 at the end of that and then turn it. Okay, so we're going to decrease over the first 2 stitches. Half double crochet in the next 4. And then decrease over the last 2. Alright, and again for row 2 you have 6 stitches made. So chain 1 and then turn. For row 3 we're going to decrease over the first 2, half double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then decrease over the last 2 stitches. And then chain 1. So row 3 is 4 half double crochets. And then our last row is going to be 2 decreases. So decrease over the first 2, and then decrease again over the last 2. Okay, so for this one, go ahead and chain 1. We're not going to tie this one off. We're now going to single crochet around the entire bottom edge of our hat. Okay, so you can turn it, and you're just going to put 1 single crochet in those 2 stitches at the end of that row, and then you're going to go along the edge of the ear flap. Just crochet evenly along the whole piece. Okay, after the ear flap, go into that next corner stitch there, and then along the bottom edge of the hat, and then you'll just continue that until you get all the way back to the beginning, and then you'll make a slip stitch into that first single crochet. So go ahead and do that, and then go ahead and weave in all of your ends for the hat, and then we will make the ears next. Alright, so our hat should look like this now. So the next thing we're going to do is make the ears. I've already made one, so I'll show you one and then you can go back and watch it again to make the second ear. Okay, so grab your yarn. You're gonna make a magic ring. And in this magic ring, we're going to make 6 single crochets. Alright, so after you make your 6, go ahead and pull that tail. We are not going to join this time, we're just going to work in continuous rounds. So if you need a stitch marker, go ahead and grab one of those. Okay, so we have 6 single crochets made. For round 2, we're going to make a single crochet in the first stitch. So 1 single crochet, and then we're going to increase in the next stitch. Okay, and then we'll do that 2 more times. So 1 single crochet, and then increase in the next stitch, and then do that 1 more time. So this will give us a total of 9 single crochets for round 2. Okay, so I'm going to start using my stitch marker. For round 3, we're just going to single crochet around, 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So round 3 will also be 9 single crochets made. Alright, so that's round 3. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and cut this center tail just to get it out of my way. Alright, so for round 4, we're going to put a single crochet, 1 in each of the first 2, and then you're going to increase in that 3rd stitch. So 2 single crochets, and then increase. Alright, so that's round 4, and you will have 12 single crochets made. Alright, for round 5, we're just going to single crochet 1 in each stitch around. So after round 5, you will have 12 single crochets made. Alright, so moving on to round 6, we are going to make 3 single crochets and then increase in the 4th stitch. So 1, 2, and 3, and then increase in the 4th. And you'll repeat that 2 more times. And by the end of round 6, you will have 15 single crochets made. And this will be our last round for the ear. So like I said, once we finish this off, go ahead and re-watch that if you need to make your 2nd ear, and then I will show you how to sew them on. Alright, so after you make your last increase, we're going to slip stitch to finish it off. So grab your yarn and pull it through your loop, and then grab your scissors. And you'll want a little bit longer of a tail so we can use it to sew onto the hat. Alright, so there's your ear. So go ahead and make your 2nd one, and then meet me back here and we will get them sewn onto our hat. Okay, so let's go ahead and sew our ears on real quick, and then after we do that, we will make our bows. Once the bows are made, then all we have to do is cut our yarn lengths to make our braids for the hat, and then make the braids and sew the bows on, and then you're finished. So it's pretty quick pattern to make here, and you can make up a bunch of these, or they make perfect baby shower gifts. If you've enjoyed this pattern so far, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe so you will not miss any future videos that I will put up. Alright, so go ahead and figure out your placement. So go down like 2 rounds and put the edge of each one kind of right there so they're even. So hold it on there, and then you're just going to sew around the base of the ear. Just like so. So go ahead and sew both your ears on, and then I will meet you back here in a moment to make our bows. Alright, so this is what your hat should look like at this point. So we're going to make the bows next, and we will put one here by the ear, and then we will put 2 at the ends of the braids. So I'll show you how to make 1, but you're going to want to make 3 to complete this hat. Okay, so grab your pink yarn, or whatever color you chose to use. Make your slip knot. Okay, and we are going to chain 9. Okay, so we have our chain 9, and we're just going to single crochet starting in that second chain. We're going to single crochet across, so you will have a total of 8 single crochets at the end of this row. Okay, once you get to the end of the row, and you'll do this with every row, you're going to make a chain 1, and then you'll turn it over. And then you're just going to work single crochets back across for row 2. And you're going to repeat this pattern for 5 rows, so you'll have 5 rows of 8 single crochet. Don't forget to turn at the end of each, or chain 1 and turn at the end of each row. So go ahead and finish your 5 rows, and then I will meet you back at the end and we'll finish it off, and then we'll go ahead and sew this one onto the ears of our hat. Okay, so we are at the end of row 5, so we're going to finish this off. And so the 2 ends that we have here, we're going to want to weave both of those in. So we'll use the center part that we'll make next to sew it onto the hat, so we don't need these ends at all. So go ahead and weave those in. And I just weave to the middle of the bow because we're going to wrap the yarn pretty tight around it, so it's not going to come loose. Okay, and do your second one. Alright, so at this point we have a rectangle. So grab your yarn and then hold your yarn at the back of your bow with your fingers and just start wrapping tightly around the center. And it's up to you how much you want to do. You can do it a little bit, or you can do it a little bit bigger. That seems about good to me. Okay, so at this point you'll want to cut a long tail. Just kind of hold the yarn there with your other hand. Okay, and make some adjustments if you need to. So go ahead and grab your needle and insert your yarn. if you can. This needle's kind of small. I lost my big one. I'm not sure what I did with it, but I need to find it. Alright, so I go ahead and weave this through the back of the part that we wrapped, just to get that good and secure. Alright, just like that. So grab your hat, and then I put it on just kind of in front of one of the ears. You're going to grab part of the hat, weave your needle through the back of this part that you wrapped again, and pull it through. Grab some more section of the hat here, and then weave it back through the other way, through the back of the bow. Make sure you're not wrapped around the ear. Okay, so pull that all the way through, and then I go ahead and just weave it into the back of the bow here. So I go through 2 times, 1 and 2. Okay, so go ahead and cut that off. Alright, and so we have our first bow put on. So go ahead and make 2 more of those and set those aside. And then we're going to cut our yarn for our braids, and I will show you how to do that and let you know what length that you need to make each piece of yarn. Okay, so you should have all of your bows made at this point. The next thing you're going to want to do is cut 8 lengths of each color. So I have the cream color, the pink, and the orange. You're going to want 8 of each, and I cut mine at about 26 inches long. We will cut a little bit of that off once we make our braid, but you're going to use 4 of each color for each braid. So go ahead, pause the video, get your lengths cut, and then I will show you how to attach it to our ear flap here, and then we'll make the braid, and then we'll sew on our extra bows that we made. Alright, so like I said, you're going to need 4 of each length for each braid. So go ahead and gather your 4. And then set the other ones aside. Okay, and so I just put them together lengthwise, and then grab it in the middle. Alright, so I grab your hook and then find kind of the middle part, a good part that you can, fit a good length of yarn in. Kind of twist it up a little bit to make it easier to grab. So you're going to grab it with your hook and pull it through, and then just hold on to one of the lengths and pull the other through. Okay. So then you're going to separate your colors so that they're all together. So you want all the pinks together, all the oranges, and all the creams together. Alright, so separate those, and then you'll just simply make a braid. Now, for the video, I won't be doing this, but I find the best way to do this is just to hold the hat between your knees and then braid, so it stays tight for you. But I'll just do it here on the table for you for right now. And then just braid, and you can make these braids short, you can make them long, medium, whatever length you think is appropriate for your hat. Alright, so I think I'll stop there. Okay, so I grab a length of pink yarn, since it matches the bow, and then I just start wrapping it around a few times to kind of, we're going to kind of secure that and tie that in. So wrap it around a few times, and then I grab my needle and kind of hold that with your finger. And then just like we did with the back of the bow, just kind of weave that through what we wrapped, so it does not come undone, and I go a few times. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this short one off, but I just pull the rest down with the rest of this. So I cut my length off about here, maybe about an inch, inch and a half, and go ahead and snip that off. Like that. Okay, so the next thing that we want to do is to add on our bow. So we're basically gonna sew it on exactly like we did the first bow. Okay, so grab a piece of the braid and then go through the back of the bow. And do that again on the other side. Okay, and then I weave it again through the back of the side of the bow here a couple times. Okay, so that's finished. So at this point, go ahead and grab your other lengths of yarn and get the second braid made and the second bow, and I'll meet you back once you have that finished. Okay, so I've made my second braid and my bow, and this hat is finished. If you want to make this hat in a bigger size, all you need to do is find a base pattern for the basic hat, but make it a few rows shorter than the pattern calls for, and then the ear flaps and the ears and the bows, all that will be the same, so you can just make it in a bigger size. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and also you can hit the bell icon to get notified of future videos that I put up. Next week I will be putting up a few Valentine's videos, so you don't want to miss those. And I will see you next time.